Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is the straight line on your stitching practice paper. So when you look at your presser foot, right there in the center there is a line or an indentation, and that is where your needle is going to go. So we're going to line up that line on our presser foot right with the line on our paper. I'm going to show you how to do one of them. You'll do both of them. So once I get my line lined up on the paper, I put my presser foot down so the presser foot is holding my paper, and I want my fingers about an inch, half an inch to an inch away so that I don't accidentally get those caught in the needle. So, and all my fingers are doing really is just guiding the paper. The feed dogs are pulling it through the machine. I'm just guiding it. So I'm just gonna go to the end. Now if I accidentally go off like this, all you have to do is lift up your presser foot, get it lined up again, start from where you went off, and go ahead and go to the end. Okay, next I'm going to show you how to do the corners. Alright, so before I do the corners, what I want to do is I want to put my needle down. So right now my needle is up. So I want to push this button that has the picture of the needle with the arrows on it. And I push that, and now my needle will stay down when I let off my presser foot, or my foot pedal, excuse me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start on this corner right here. So I'm going to start at the end. I'm going to line my line up with the line on the paper, and I'm going to sew towards the corner. And when I get to the corner, I'm going to stop, and you'll notice now that my needle is staying down in the paper. So I went a little bit too far, so I'm going to back it up. I'm going to turn away from myself with the hand wheel, and I'm going to back it up. And now that I'm on the corner, I'm going to lift up my presser foot, turn my paper, put my presser foot back down. And then I'm going to sew towards the next corner. So the reason that you leave your needle down is we're doing what's called a pivot, and it's holding the place where I want to turn. So I make sure I'm right on the corner. Okay, so then I sew to the end of that line. Okay, so then what I can do is I can either push this needle down button again, and as soon as I push on the pedal, my needle will come back up, or I can turn my hand wheel and I can turn it so that the needle comes up. Okay, and then you'll go ahead and do the arrow, the lightning bolt, and the star. Okay, then the last part that I'm going to show you is right here where it says stitch 5/8 from the edge of the paper on this side, on the bottom, and on this side. Okay, so you're not going to start where this arrow is. It's just showing you what side to sew. So we're going to start at the very top, and remember we talked about the stitch plate lines. Right here is the 5/8 line, and it's labeled for you. So I'm going to line my paper up with the 5/8, and then put my presser foot down, and then I'm going to try to keep the edge of my paper right along that 5/8 inch line mark. And I'm not looking at my needle. I'm looking over here, keeping the paper lined up with the 5/8. So I'm just going to sew all the way down that side. And yes, it's going to overlap a little bit on the lightning bolt. That's okay. So keep going all the way down to the bottom. And then when you get to the bottom, lift up your presser foot, take out your paper, and then you'll go ahead and do the bottom and this other side. Okay, when you're finished with this, make sure you put your name and period number up here at the top, and you'll turn it into the box.